Sanders with Remax One in Beaumont, Texas. Welcome to another episode of Locally Owned. I'm here today with Blake Nolan with Beaumont Trigger Therapy. He's going to tell us about his business. And how are you?
Tired.
Well, tell me about yourself and why you started your business.
Okay, so I'm 37 years old. I'm father of three, 1.5 year baby girl that you just saw in there.
Okay.
I'm probably going to be corrected on that because she's actually 15 months.
Oh.
But anyways, and that's her. And I've been inside of Beaumont for most of my life. And whenever it comes to why I started my business because I saw that within the past year and a half, we've had over 8 million new gun owners inside of the state of Texas alone. And to me, that's really unsafe.
Okay.
And as far as me being able to teach people certain things,
Gun safety.
well, not just gun safety, but I teach defensive tactics, defensive shooting.
Oh, wow.
And I started martial arts at the age of 6, 7, and I stopped doing it whenever I was about 18, 19.
Okay.
And it was because I hurt my knee. I had to get surgery done. I've trained in, it's Okinawan Shorin-ryu, which is the first style. Matsubiyashi is the actual style,
Okay.
which is just a form of karate.
Wow.
Taekwondo, Muay Thai kickboxing,
Gosh.
Jiu-Jitsu, grappling, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, defensive tactics, defensive hand-to-hand combat, and close quarters combat.
So is there a big difference between all of those styles, or are they all generally the same?
Huge difference.
Huge difference? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. How could you study all of them?
I've actually learned from multiple different teachers over the years.
Okay.
I guess you could say more along the lines of a salad bar type
Oh.
of martial arts mixed. And
Cheers.
yeah, and if I didn't know something or know how to defend something from going to different circuit fights and stuff like that, then I went and trained with another friend of mine for a few months, and we would learn different things with each other.
Okay.
But
So you applied all this with your business as far as the classes that you teach?
well, with the classes that I teach, defensive tactics, yes.
Okay.
Defensive shooting, no. That I've learned from law enforcement. I was tried and failed Navy.
Okay.
I failed whenever I re-injured my knee, so I never made it past basics. So I never claimed that I'm any kind of military personnel.
Right.
And as far as other styles of law enforcement, I've worked with a few sheriff's departments, but as far as being able to teach others, I love teaching people. I love making sure that other people are safe, and always having a more of a awareness mind about what they're doing or where they're at.
Right.
Because a lot of times it's the best way to put it to all my students and people that have trained me over the years. It's always been an attacker is never going to be trained for the attack.
Right.
Most of the time, whenever people are breaking the law, it's off the cusp.
Right.
If they've actually picked you out of a crowd, and it's because they saw something in you that you're not noticing.
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that I love teaching people.
Okay.
LTC, or license to carry. Right now, the state of Texas is permitless carry, or constitutional carry, as everybody likes to say.
Okay.
But businesses can actually tell you that you can't carry inside of their premises unless you're LTC. And a lot of businesses in this area are telling people that they can't carry unless they have their license to carry.
Okay.
So pretty much we're back in the same boat that we were already in. People are only going to be carrying their guns in their cars. They're not going to be carrying them on their person because they don't think they need an LTC until something happens. And some of the businesses are actually telling people that they don't want them to carry at all, which I just recently found out. HEB. I had a student of mine tell me that they don't allow carrying, and I had actually been carrying myself inside of the stores.
Oh, wow.
And so the last time I went, I literally sat for 3 to 5 minutes just trying to find the sign, and their signage wasn't on there properly. I've recently reached out to HEB corporate and told them, hey, look, your signage isn't in compliance because it's non-contrasting background. It took me a very long time to find the signage, and I'm very quick at finding signs.
Right.
And I literally had to wait for somebody to walk behind wearing white before I ever noticed the letters, and I was standing within about 2 feet of the building. So
did they ever respond?
They did. They said it's under advisement and it's been moved up to upper management. So I'm hoping that means that they're going to do something to fix it, because all they have to do is scrape off the old and just put white lettering up and we're good.
Right.
There's other stores that allow you to carry with LTC. CVS is one of them.
Okay.
King's Pharmacy inside of Beaumont's one of them. I know there's a King's Pharmacy, or used to be, inside of Vidor. But there's businesses all over this state that are welcoming people with LTCs that if you want to carry, they'll let you carry.
Right.
And to me personally, I trust somebody with an LTC more than I trust somebody without an LTC. And
because of the training aspect of it, or
because you have to learn, let me rephrase the wording, you have to learn your liability.
Okay.
So you are liable at that point because you now know the laws and what it entails and what it means to you, especially if you take one of my classes.
Right.
And I was trained on the laws and practices through USCCA, or United States Concealed Carry Association. And I'm also one of their partners.
Okay.
And so I actually know most of the laws because they keep me updated on it. They help me stay on top of the laws.
Okay.
And then also, if somebody ever asks me a law or something that sounds like a gray area to me, then I look it up and I go searching for it. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you flat out, I don't know.
But I'll find it.
I'm going to find it.
Right.
You will be amazed at how quickly or how long I'll stick fixated on a subject until I find the answer. I'm one of those people. I love talking with people. I love teaching people. I love teaching people things that they thought they couldn't do.
Right.
My favorite thing is anytime I have a husband and wife show up and the wife goes, I haven't shot my firearm as much as him, and I always make the bet of, I bet you're going to make more points than your husband before your training is over.
There you go.
And sure enough, almost every single time.
Why do you think that is? Women are just easier, like, if you say points, what kind of points are we talking about? Is it?
Well, you're scored on a point value for whenever you do your practical shooting.
Okay.
And whenever you actually shoot, there's certain areas that we look at as instructors that you have to assess the point value, and it's according to what the state of Texas and DPS have agreed to.
Oh, wow.
And so I am very strict about that point value, because I'm not just going to give somebody a value. If I think that you actually need more training, we're going to train again, and we're going to go further. That's what you paid me for.
Right.
I want you to pass. One of the reasons why wives always do better at shooting is because they shoot less than their husbands.
They aim more, take their time, or whatnot.
That, and also they have less bad habits.
Really?
Men have horrible habits, and I promise you do. Whenever
You think that's like maybe from watching TV. Like, where are they picking up the bad habits from?
TV, or they get complacent, or they get lackadaisical in how they train, or they don't train, and this is what their grandfather taught them 50 years ago.
Right.
In fact,
interesting.
One of the best things that I could always say is the fact that, again, attackers or people that were going to break the law, they don't train to break the law.
Right.
So whenever it comes down to it, the more training you have, the more of a tactical advantage you have against them, because you have prepared for this moment.
Right.
And whenever I work with people, I also see how they react, how they form, how they function during the training. And if I see that, look, you're not the kind of person to pull a gun.
Right.
I can understand you wanting to do it, but let's work on some other things to help you with that scenario.
Right.
Because if you're never going to pull the firearm, let's make sure that you know that you're not going to pull the firearm until you are, well, not just confident, but absolutely certain that you're going to pull the firearm.
Right. Yeah.
That's one of the things is people that are thinking in their mindset that they're willing to do what they're going to do. If you've never faced that situation, how do you know?
Yeah, you have to understand that you are aiming to kill.
Yes.
Right. I mean, ultimately,
Exactly. And
So,
I've been in situations where people that have seen that I had a firearm on me afterwards have said, "Why didn't you ever pull your firearm?" And the first thing I tell them is because I didn't need to.
right.
If you don't need to pull your firearm, there's no need to pull your firearm.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and that's one of the things that I like teaching people is, now the LTC, we won't get into that. LTC, we're more focusing on, okay, you can hit the target, you made your point value. We're working on the laws and legalities so that way the state of Texas knows that you know the law well enough to pass my test to be able to get your license. That's the only reason why that's there.
And do you have a written test along with a?
Yes, it's a curriculum and it's a test that is actually approved and dispersed through the state of Texas DPS.
Okay, awesome.
And so I have to give that test. And so for me, I think of it in the terms of, like I said, you're driving a car.
Mm-hmm.
You had to get your license to drive your car. You had to drive your car more than once before you were able to pass the test.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but I sucked.
Uh-oh.
And so you had to show proficiency with your vehicle before you could actually be on the road with a 1 ton, 2 ton vehicle that could
Right.
kill somebody.
Right.
Okay, but yet I'm carrying around a 4 to 8 pound firearm that can do more damage than what the vehicle can. And it's the equivalent of people being shot as many times as I've seen. That's the equivalent of hitting a wall at 100 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
It does the same amount of damage.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's less effort to pull the trigger, and some people, instead of, understanding the fact that you're destroying something.
Right.
I've never seen a bullet go through without destroying something, so that's the word I've always used. You don't point a firearm at somebody that you are not willing to destroy.
Right.
So if you want to see that they don't get up, then you're going to point the firearm.
Right.
But yeah.
So what do you think is the main fear of people why they don't want to obtain their license?
I've heard all the excuses.
Or is it an excuse?
I've heard all the excuses. Now, I have legitimately seen people that are afraid to pick up a firearm.
Really?
And I've actually helped people through that.
Wow. Okay.
I've helped people get confidence again. I've helped people regain the nerve, I guess, to want to defend themselves.
Okay.
Because I don't know how it is inside of other places, but here inside of Beaumont, our Beaumont PD department, their average time is 5 minutes.
Right.
The sheriff's department out here is 5 to 10 minutes on a great day.
Oh, wow.
And so I don't know if you've ever been in a fight, but 5 to 10 minutes in a fight, that's an eternity.
Yeah.
And I've been in firefight, I've been in a whole bunch of situations, and I've walked out going, that's the longest 15 minutes of my life. And people are sitting there going, that was, dude, you were in there for a minute.
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting there going,
oh.
So that's one of those things of when it's happening, you never understand it.
Yeah. So you think maybe they just haven't been in a situation where they needed it, so they feel like there's no need?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I've always, if I've got a big class, I've always got the one guy that goes, well, I've got the gun. And he goes to point the toy gun at me because we use toy guns and inert guns inside my class. We do not allow any kind of firearm that can carry live ammunition whatsoever.
Okay.
We don't want to have an Alec Baldwin situation.
Right.
Well,
that was going to be my next question. What gun do you suggest and what ammunition? But we'll get to that.
Depends on their level of experience, for one.
Okay.
I always tell any customer, client, student, anybody, if you're going to carry a firearm, you're going to carry a firearm that, one, you're comfortable with,
right.
2, you're proficient with,
right.
and 3, that you can break down and maintain yourself.
Okay.
Because that's something else that I like to teach people is...
How to clean it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got friends of mine that they own firearms, and they're like, well, it only shoots one specific type of firearm. Okay. Well, that's probably because it's never been cleaned, so let's work on that together.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that I teach people too, and it's one of those things of, just like the question of what's the main reason for not getting your LTC.
Right.
I've heard money, which, it's $40 through DPS, which doesn't sound like a lot, but some people, $40 is a lot.
Yes.
It's $65 to take my class.
Okay.
So there's that's $105 we're at now.
Right.
Plus it's $20 or $10, I forget what it is, through Identigo to go get your ID, fingerprints, and everything else done.
Okay.
And so you're up to $120, $125. And
Plus your gun and ammunition if you.
Yep, 50 rounds of ammunition plus the firearm. And if you don't have a firearm or you don't have the ammunition, I help with that too. I'm an FFL dealer,
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I can sell you a gun. I can let you use one of my guns. As long as you're legally allowed to carry or own a firearm,
Right.
I'll help you.
Okay.
And I'll just give you a little bit of a cost fee or whatever for the firearm and ammunition, which is a lot more than what other people are doing right now. And hopefully I'll be able to start manufacturing my own firearm ammunition so that way I can try to help that way too.
Awesome.
But honestly, everything that I've heard whenever it comes to why they can't get their LTC has been an excuse. It's been an obstacle. Because some people, if I know them for sure, I've told them, fine, you know what? You can't afford it right now, but this is the only class I'm having for a while, so show up and we'll worry about the money later.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so we'll do everything
And
that
do
we
they
need to
show
do.
up?
I've had a few not show up, but
Really?
it's
Wow.
also because of their confidence and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
they just need more work.
Okay.
And so, and I'm not going to push anybody. If you push somebody to want to use firearms, all you're going to do is make another person out there that goes, firearms are bad.
Right.
And so the best thing for them to do is, just like as a Christian, you love them, you nurture them, you help
Teach
them,
'em.
and you teach them where you can.
Right.
And they'll come to it whenever they're ready. So, but I mean, whenever it comes down to it, everything I teach because of the fact that I've been in those situations. I've been in those moments. I know what it's like. I know what you're feeling whenever you're sitting there thinking, this is it, this is the day.
Right.
And for you, if I didn't have the training I had, and I've had police officers say that if I didn't have the training I had behind my background, I would have never left that day.
Okay. And what about the future of your business?
Hopefully that will be growing very soon. Not just because of this. No, I have a building in the works. So Beaumont Trigger Therapy will hopefully have a actual building and hopefully have an indoor gun range that everybody can train at. I'm wanting it to be more of an upscale.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like Starbucks.
Right.
Hopefully we don't have to pay royalties for that. We found a location, we found a property, and hopefully you'll be helping me.
On-site shopping?
Yeah, we're gonna have the FFL. We're gonna have. I'm gonna have guest instructors also. I have other. Well, we also have investors that are interested, which
Perfect.
hopefully you'll get to meet them whenever all this starts going off.
Definitely.
But so far we've got some investors that are interested. We've got a building, a location, and we've got. I've actually met with some people inside of Beaumont Jefferson County planning departments,
Mhm.
and so everything's going, and God willing, it'll be there, so that way everybody can have a place to learn and train. In fact, I really hope that I can eventually get in touch with the training department for Jefferson County or any other law enforcement agencies in this area,
Okay.
so that way I can let them know, hey, look,
Your
let me know what
facilities are
credentials,
available.
let me know what y'all need, so that way y'all don't have to worry about a rainy day, and y'all can come work with me and we'll work something out.
There you go.
So.
Well, good deal. Well, thank you very much for having me. Well, thank y'all for joining us. And if you're looking to obtain your license, give him a call. Beaumont Trigger Therapy. More than happy to help you. I'm Rebecca Sanders, and I'll see you next time.